Hey! Okay, everyone should try to repaint a S seat once in their life. We're gonna let that dry, and it's kind of getting chillier now, so I had to spray that the very first thing. Obviously, the Schwinn Traveler won out on the votings. It was like, it was 4 or 5 to 1. I think Piroshki was the only one that said work on the fleet. We might still work on the fleet a little bit, but it's Black Traveler night for sure. All right, let's switch you around here so you can see what's going on in here, and we'll shut that door and get the fumes away. Let me shut this door. Whew, fumey. I've only painted an S seat one other time, and I used the wrong kind of paint. It wasn't for vinyl, and it didn't turn out too well. So yeah. You might notice that the lighting has drastically changed in here because I worked all day on it. So the lighting's probably good. Let's jump into this. We got to change this tube. I'll pump it up and I'll show you what's going on with this bulgy tube. And when that happens, you don't have much time left when you see that bulgy stuff around the stem. So we'll put some air in this and I'll just show you before I take the wheel off. I'm going to run the compressor for a second. Okay, so we put some air in this, and I'll bring the computer over, and so you can see this little bulgy thing here. And so you guys will know that when you pump up your tire and you see this. Oh, let's see if you can see it here. See how it's kind of bulgy right here? It's bulging out a little bit around this area here. Yeah, that means you don't have much time to go on that tube. And it's very unfortunate because I look back in the videos of when I was putting this bike together. This tube is less than a year and a half old. I mean, that tube was only a year and a half old. It's probably like 6 or 7 rides on this. Yeah, just do your job, folks. Do your job. Anyway, it's a cheap tube. What? It's not a thorn-proof tube. Anyway, we're gonna put the same kind of cheap tube in it. Yes, because we haven't learned. Oh, hey, Christopher Stapleton. Hello from Florida. Oh, Ocala, Florida. I think that's the place. Yeah, I have ridden a bike there. Great bike town, if that's where you're from. Okay, let's I showed you the bolts. We got to get this out. We got to get the tube in. We have the same kind of cheap tube. Yeah, we're going to put the same cheap tube in because I haven't learned. Yeah, right on. Florida's in the house, man. Welcome to the live feed. I had to paint that seat right away because it's getting kind of nippy here. And we might put another coat on it. It's going to be fair. Yeah, it's going to be okay. Anyway, let's get you over here and we'll put some green stuff in this tube. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. We're going to put some slime in this devil and have it ready. So when we do take off the wheel, we'll have this tube ready to slime up and ready to go. We're going to take the valve stem core out right now with my antique tool from the 30s. Okay, we got that out. Put that to the side. All right. Kind of pinch this a little bit so the green stuff, the slime, will go down in there. And you don't need much. You don't need gangbusters, okay? Just a little, you can see it going in there. That's probably more than enough. Okay. Let's try not to get slime all over us. And what I like to do is kind of let it sit up like this for a second because you don't want the slime to interfere with the valve stem seat. It's going to be in there anyway. But if you get too much on there, then the valve stem leaks. So I kind of like massage it down in there, kind of look in there, make sure it's all gone. You could even blow in it a little bit. I can feel it going down where it's supposed to go. I think we're golden. It's not gobs of it in there. We're going to put the valve core back in. Now, I had one leak a few months ago, and I thought it was a defective tube. And for giggles, I just took the core out and looked at it, and it was really cakey and gummy with the slime. So it does happen. When you put air in it and you're inflating it, make sure that the valve stem is up. That way, all the slime went to the bottom, and you're not fighting all that slime in the valve stem. Anyway, just be thoughtful that maybe that could happen. And once you get it all aired up, check this, put some water on it or spit or something and see if it bubbles. And usually you're okay. That's only happened once or twice, but it has happened. Okay, this one's ready to go. And excuse me, it's getting kind of warm out here. Woo. All right. Wifey made me some brownies too, but last time I was eating jelly beans, so I won't bore you with the brownies, but they're good. Yeah. Okay. Let's take this front wheel off and we'll get this puffy tube out of here. And it's really a bummer because this tube is only approximately a year and a half old. I went back in the videos. It's one good thing about when you're working on your collection and you're making a lot of videos, you can kind of look back in the history, like, oh, when did I build that bike? When did I put that tube in there? And for me, it's kind of interesting because I can go right back to when this was being built. And this front tube is not that old. It's like literally a year and a half old. So that's kind of disappointing that companies can't make a tube that will last a year and a half. No wheel locks on this one. There's no wheel locks. This was too early. I think that would be 1970 and above. We've kind of figured out that 1970 and above was when they did the wheel lock thing. Let me show you this tube real quick while there's still air in it. You can see very, very precisely without moving the computer down there and ending the whole world. Here it is. Let's see if we can get you in on that. See, that's kind of, it almost looks like a thorn-proof. I mean, it looks like a tubeless car. You know, it almost looks like one of those tubeless car valve stems that you pull through the rim. You know, when you see stuff like that, your days are numbered on that tube. So we're changing it. This is only a year old, though. I'm kind of ticked off, you know, like, come on, folks. Anyway, and it probably does have slime in it. I don't know, you know, people are going to say, oh, you overinflated it. No, I probably had, you know, what's supposed to be in here. It says 65 PSI. I don't think I even had 65 PSI in here. I think I was running about 50. But yeah, when you see that, it's time to go get some tubes. Anyway, yeah. Hey, let's see who else is here. Socks ran. Hey, Faulkner, this is going to sound crazy, but my dad's a big fan and he's watching now, but can't comment. Can you say hi to John? Oh, in Australia? Is that the guy? There's this guy in Australia named John Faulkner who works on bikes. Anyway, if that's you, hi to Australia. If it's not you, hey, John, how you doing? You know, everybody voted on this one. Only one person voted on the red fleet. We might do a little, you know, we might do a little paint remover on that. Fred told me all about. He didn't paint any of it. He did paint the tank. So we're kind of dealing with that. Anyway, let's get the air out of this. Hey, John, how you doing, man? Working on Travelers. That's what we're doing. Okay. Now, I'm disappointed in this tube. It's only a year old, and I probably did put slime in it. Let's see if I did. We'll know in a minute. At least I got a valve stem out of deal. Yeah, let's check it out. Okay. So I'm very disappointed in this tube. It is brand new, a year and a half ago. It is from Pyramid. I'm going to call them out. It is a Pyramid tube. I'm going to call them out. You know, if you make a tube that only lasts a year, oh, there's nothing wrong with that tube, sir. They always bulge like that. No, when you see that bulge, this tube is going to be cut into rim liners now. Let's see if I put slime in it. No, I did not put slime in this. Huh. Interesting. Well, this tube is toast. Whee! Okay, so we got this one slimed up, and it's made in China by Akimut. Light duty. Okay, it's funny about these Concord ones made in China, and this will kind of throw you for a loop. Fits tire width 1 3/8, and then it says for 3-speed bicycles only. There's plenty of bikes out there that have 26 by 1 3/8 that are 5 speeds, 10 speeds, coaster brakes. It's not only fits most 3 speeds. How about that? But no, there's 27-inch by 1.25 inch 3 speeds. There's 20-inch 3 speeds. For 3-speed bicycles only, they really need to figure that one out. It's not 3 speeds only. It's for, there's plenty of 10 speeds out there that are 26. They're all department store, low budgets. There's plenty of coaster brake bikes out there that are 26 by 1 3/8. Whatever, dudes. Go back and do it again. Okay. All right, let's put a few pounds in this and get the shape. That's good enough. All right, now put this over here for a second. Now, yeah, this is almost a brand new tire, and we had it on the bike before, but we're going to check. We're going to check for thorns. I've had this bike off-roading. What's that? That's just a rock. I've been out where I shouldn't have been with this bike. That's just the way I am. We're going to check. Always check. In fact, you're supposed to use a rag and run it along there so you don't cut your hand on a thorn. Safety first. Okay, this is pretty good. Now, this one should seat up pretty well. If it doesn't, we'll spray some silicone or something on it. We'll blast the heck out of it with the air. And we're going to seat it up right before it goes back on the bike. Let's see. What are they talking about? Thank you. Yeah, John. Way to go. I don't know if you're the guy from Australia, but that's a pretty odd coincidence if you are. And Christopher Stapleton, we have the sandburrs in Florida that are notorious for popping tubes. Yeah. When my wife's brother lives down in Sanibel, great place to ride your bike, actually. If you get a chance, go through the Ding Darling Preserve, or even all the roads around there have bike trails on that island. And man, I remember changing some tubes down there. I had this little 20-inch folding bike. I think it is on the channel if you look. I think I went down and did some videos on Ding Darling and ran around. And later that day, I was changing a tube. And it was one of those little devils. They look like little. It looks like some punk rocker with pointy hairdo, like the little seed of some sort. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those sandburrs suck. Okay, let's put this on. You guys can't see nothing. We're going to fix that. All right, I think I'm going to spray this anyway because these S5 tires, even when they're new, are notorious for not seeing right. I mean, it's nothing beats the original Schwinn tire, and the reproductions, they try to make it the right ISO size, and they do a great job. But nothing beats that Schwinn West Wind or that Breeze tire. Nothing beats that original Schwinn tire, the way it pops on there. And nothing beats that, So we're going to let a little air out now because I can't get this top bead here by hand. And I'd really like to put it on by hand. But, we almost let some green stuff out. That's not good. See, in that case, we should have had the tube up here to let the air out. That way, no green stuff pops out on your white wall. It gets on your valve stem seat. We still got to let a little more out. It's not enough. So I'm being smart now, and I'm letting a little air out away from the slime, which is down there at the bottom. And this should be enough now for me just to pop it on. Here we go. Okay, good. All right, I think I'm going to spray this just preemptively with some silicone spray. I know these tires, they're just hard to deal with. Randy FX, hello from Lake City, Michigan. All right, and we got the whole crowd here tonight. Did you guys see my crazy spraying the white seat out there? You got to go put a second coat on that in a second. That's better than Schwinn. Okay, let's spray this up. Yeah, here we go. We got just enough left here. All right, silicone spray. It evaporates quickly and it's very slippery, and it will do a number on this tire. It'll make it pop right out. We won't have to put 100 pounds on this thing. I've had some pretty impressive pressures on some older Schwinn tires to get them to seat. and some new Kendas also. It's just really the luck of the draw, how they were feeling at the factory that day. I've had some pretty impressive pressures. I remember once being in the house on a live feed, and back when I did them in the house. In the wintertime, sometimes I do them in the house. I was putting about, I think I put about 95 pounds in a used tire, and it finally popped. But you know, it was, I had to go change my underwear after that one. It was a rough one. Okay, so we got that silicone. It's all over the place, but good thing it evaporates quickly. And we're going to lift it right off into the air and make sure this is straight. And we're going to hit it. And I can see already that right here, I can see already right here it's low. And probably on the other side too. Yeah, on this side too. That's okay. We're going to bounce it around a little. And then we're going to hit it real hard. I might even turn the compressor on. We'll see. Now, if this works, you'll hear a little snapping sound, and I'll be quiet. I'll actually be quiet for a minute, and this will pop up. There you go. Did you hear those two? Did you hear those two pops? Oh, yeah, baby. I think they're audible. It's like a pop, pop. Okay, I got liquid silicone all over my shop chair. That's okay. That's why it's a shop chair. Okay, we got some of this excess spray silicone stuff. We're looking pretty good. Let's give it a spin, and then we'll check the pressure. Oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's look at this side. Yeah, that's seated perfectly. You could hear the pops. You could hear the pop, pop. Okay, let's check the pressure. And what better way to check the pressure than a Schwinn pressure gauge made in England? Schwinn approved. Yeah. Yeah, Schwinn approved because it's made in England. Yeah. Oh, what do we got here? We got 65 pounds exactly. Oh, yeah. And the tire says 65. We're just going to leave it at 65, I guess. It seems a little high to me, though. Yeah, we'll leave it at 65. That's what the tire says to do. The tire's talking to me. Look at that. Pretty good gauge of pressure there. Kind of dusty. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, I bought a new axle, and I had to make these. I had to turn these dust caps to fit because of the new axle, and yeah, I remember that. It's kind of a bummer. Anyway, be careful what you buy on eBay. When they say it fits Schwinn and it's the right stuff, and it's not, and you have to machine things. Kind of a bummer. Okay, let's see. Read some comments, and we'll throw this wheel on. Yeah, okay. Let's put this wheel on. Got stuff to do. Oh, this thing is dusty. Woo! It's been sitting a while. Yeah, so I was going to take this the other day. Everybody voted that I take this on my Sunday bike ride. And I was like, oh, the front tire is kind of low. And I went to pump it up. And that's when I saw that bulge. You know, we should put this valve stem back in it and see how the bulge looks with about 70 pounds in there and see what happens. Let's mess around. Let's see what it'll take to pop this sucker. You know, we know there's a good one in there. Let's see what's going on here. What would happen? Let me get my earmuffs on. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can make this bulge. Oh, you know, it's probably not going to do it. Yeah, it's not really going to do it because the pressure of the pressure of it being in the tire is what bulges that out. So you would really have to put like 400 pounds in this thing. Oh, there's a little cut there too. I did not see that. Oh, that probably happened when it bulged out. See, that's another reason why when you see that bulge, your days are limited. No, it's not leaking yet, but when you see that bulge, it's cutting into the round part of the rim because it's expanding out. And once it gets down to that metal core, it's going to leak. So that's why you got to change it. Yeah, this is quite big. It didn't blow. We'll just put it over here and wait. That's really kind of big. Oh, a lesson in science. Okay, let's quit messing around and put this wheel back on, eh? All right. We still got to put a second coat on that seat. I don't think we're going to actually put that seat on the bike tonight. I don't think that's going to happen because it's got to dry overnight. And like I said, I did one a few years back, and it didn't turn out that great. But this time it's going to be great. We're hecka smart. We're wicked smart. Yeah, this year doesn't have the locks. It's just a straight fork. And there's no locks. Big flat washer. Then the fork stay. Then the small washer. Then the bolt. This, like I said, this year does not have the locks. So if your wheel gets loose, it's just going to fall off with the fender and you're going to go tumbling. Okay, stay for a second while I get a wrench. Okay. Well, we have a new tube in. That is good. Hopefully this one lasts more than a year. That was kind of a bummer. I'll review that. I think when I was building this bike, it was definitely on the channel. So I can look back. I think it was about a year and a half ago. Yeah, I think I got this. I can't remember if I bought this frame on eBay or I found it in really bad shape somewhere. I can't remember. But the front wheel has a big rust spot, and I'm working around that. Right now, I'm just kind of sighting in between the fork to make sure I can see what's going on. And it looks pretty good. Okay. Hey, one problem solved. The seat is drying. We might just make sure the gears run through and everything's nice and spiffy. And then we're going to go on to the next project, which is not the Schwinn fleet, because there's only one vote on that. So I had to kind of come up with something else, and you'll see it in a minute. It's back there. Don't worry, it's back there. All right, let's make sure this runs through the gears, and then I'll kick it off the stand. We're going to let that seat, there's one more coat on that seat, which I'll show you guys when I do it. And then we'll let that seat dry overnight. I'm not just going to throw it on the bike and smudge it all up. It's got to be dry. Okay, what do we got here? We're in third. Here's first. Second. Third. Second. Okay. Gears are good. Brakes are good. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna pop this one off. I'm not gonna put the seat on right now. Like I said, there's no reason to handle smudgy, wet parts, especially something like an S seat that you're really not sure. It'll dry. It'll be better than it was. We'll peel the tape off tonight. We will peel that tape off, but we're not going to put it on the bike. So let's get this off of here. I'm getting thirsty. Hang on a sec. Okay. Where is everyone from? Who's watching? There's only a few people watching. Wow. Is your dad the one in Australia? Is he in Australia or is he up in Michigan somewhere? I just want to know because if it's the Australian guy, I think it's hilarious that there's a bicycle mechanic named Faulkner in Australia. I think that's, small world. Okay. Let's get this sucker down. Down we go. Oh, yes. The heaviest lightweight. Yeah, good. All right, we'll pop this one over here for a sec. Look at this tube. Look at this tube. Let's put some more pounds in this tube. I want to see it blow. Yeah, that's the right size. Yeah, 3-speed only. Dang. I can't believe this didn't blow. Yeah, let's let the air out of this before it does blow. We know this tube's bad. Let's not tempt fate here. We don't need views that bad that we need to explode an inner tube. Yeah. Okay. So the next project, because you guys voted and you wanted the Black Traveler, but I'm at a point where we're done with that now. We just have the tube and the seat is drying. I'm not going to bolt the seat on. I keep telling you that. But the next project, which you guys haven't seen, nobody on the channel has seen this. And this tube's definitely no good. So we will quit messing around and we'll make this into rim liners at some point. Okay, the next project is over here. It is a March of 1972 Schwinn Typhoon. The Typhoon was made by Schwinn from 62 to 82. Most of them were really bare bones. You could get a 3-speed model Typhoon, but it was the deluxe model. You had to buy the Typhoon Deluxe. Most of them were coaster brake. Some of them were even 2-speed automatics. Most of them were just bare bones, painted fenders, even chrome fenders, no springers. Yeah. This particular model was $57.95 new. Paper boys and stuff. Actually, the paper boys went for the Tornadoes, which didn't have a built-in kickstand. So if you were coming up and you had some money and you were a paper boy, you'd get a Typhoon because it had a built-in kickstand. Anyway, it was just always the bottom of it was always a coaster brake. Unless you bought the deluxe model, it was a coaster brake or 2-speed. And in 66 or so, in 66, you could get a copper tone Typhoon. And I have one. I have a couple copper tones, and one is a Typhoon, and the other one, I forget what that other one is. But when you find the copper tone middleweight bike, you should snap it up if it's in good shape, even if it doesn't have the wheels. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to put this on the stand. It's just a 72, March of 72 Typhoon, but I will go over some problems with it. And we're probably going to take this Schwinn Springer apart tonight. I have some issues, and we're going to do some measurements, and then we're going to go down tomorrow or next day, and I'll measure a real Schwinn Springer, and we'll try to put those pieces in my 20-ton press, and we're going to bend the living crap out of them. Okay. All right, let's put it on the stand, and let's see, Sakran. My dad is the John in New York. Oh, yeah, okay. Man, I can't remember who that is. I've got a lot of subscribers, but there's only about 20 or 30 that really jump on the live feeds, but it's growing to where I'm forgetting people. But I think I knew it. John Wistol or something like that. Anyway, hang in there, John. It's all good, man. I'm going to ride this Typhoon all the way up to New York. Let's pop it on the stand here, putting this around. Okay, and I'll tell you the history that I know of this bike. And I only had one ride on this thing. And I'll tell you in a minute what happened and why I'm dealing with the front end. And then I'll tell you who I got it from. Oh my God. Woo! I eat my Wheaties. It does have a cool Optimist bike sticker here, the Optimist Club. That's pretty cool. That's definitely staying on there. Okay, so here's the deal on this. I bought this from Fred, from Super Fred, for $50 about 4 years ago. It had a red fork on it. It had a black seat, and it had some bars somewhere. I don't know, it had some handlebars somewhere. And I couldn't resist for $50. And I put the 175 white walls on it. I had those laying around. And he said it ran good, and it did. I think he repacked the cranks. I think he might even went through the wheels. I'm not sure. He did put a giant sprocket on the back. I think that was Fred. That's like a 23 or something like that. That's pretty hard to find. But the forks were slightly, Fred, I have to call you on it. The forks were a little bit off, but they're much better than this stuff that's on here now. I'm thinking about just putting those forks back on, but I want people to know how to fix one of these reproduction Springer front ends. Okay, so I dialed it all in. I had some nice bars. I had a nice seat. Me and wifey loaded it in the truck. We didn't have the car rack at the time. Went down to Bent Creek, and it was real funky. It felt like I was losing my balance a little bit, and I knew I wasn't. And you had to adjust the steering ever so slightly every couple seconds. And I thought the headset was tight. I was like, oh man, it's the headset. It's too tight. Stopped. I checked it. There's nothing wrong with this headset. Then that was the only time I rode it. It was a very uncomfortable ride. I did not like it. And the knee action worked pretty good, but it was kind of funky. I thought maybe it's the frame. No, the frame was good. Okay, the fork that was on there was a little tweaky, but it wasn't this weird. So I went and measured a reproduction Schwinn Springer that I know was good on another bike, and the bend is different. It's too much. This bend is too much. I can't remember. No, it's not too much. It's not enough. Yeah. So it's too stiff. It's too in, or something's going on. From this point to where the axle bolts on was a good 3/4 of an inch difference on a reproduction Schwinn Springer that was decent. So that tells me that this needs to be bent more. So we can take these off and get ready to put them in the press. I don't think I'm going to press them tonight, but this front end is coming apart. It is bogus, and I'm not going for it. And if I can't make it right, then I'll put the other fork back on it. I still do have that fork. But what we can do is, I know how it felt when it was weird and wobbly. So I can bend these in my press and then put it all back together, and then I can go test it and like, oh, I did something right. But for giggles, let's just measure right now what it is from bolt to bolt, or bolt to where the, what is it from center to center, approximately. We're not going to call up NASA or anything, but what is it from center to center to where this bolt's in the top of this? I'm thinking it's 21 3/8. So let's write that. We'll write that down for that side. (21 3/8). Man, oh, I'm doing something important over here. This is important work. Okay, 21 3/8. Center to center. And that would be the, let's just call it the passenger side. And let's measure this one over here. Okay, you guys still here? Yeah, where would you be? All right, so we're going to measure this one. And it should be pretty close. It should be pretty close to the other one. Now, what I was finding when I was trying to figure out what was wrong with this, it was kind of disturbing because I built the whole bike up and I was ready to go ride it. And, it was just really funky. Like it would not steer straight. Not that you can let go of the bars of a Springer front end anyway, but it just didn't feel straight and it wouldn't track right. And everything about it was goofy. So I knew something was wrong. All right. So center to center here is 21 7/16. Okay, that's not bad. That could just be because the wheel is cocked a little bit. I think I was trying to even it out somehow. That's 21 7/16. Let's write that down. Okay, we're gonna start tearing this. We're gonna take this Springer off here. I'm pretty sure. There's nothing I can do except take it off and try to fix it. And that's the driver's side. I mean, you can't bend it on the bike. You gotta take it all apart and bend it somehow. Bend him. Okay, so let's take this Springer. Let's take this apart. I'm done. If we were smart, we would just bolt the other old fork back on. That's what we should do. All right, let's take this wheel off. Yeah, this has been sitting for a while. I had that one ride and I was very disappointed. And then I was like, oh man, I just didn't have you ever get to a point where you're like, you put so much into something and then it didn't work and you're just like, chuck it to the side. Like, oh man, and I don't know, the reproductions front end videos seem to be pretty popular. So we're going to revisit it on this one and see just what happened. Was it a bad day at the factory? Did someone forget how to bend one? Could have been anything. Wow, these bearings are kind of tight. I'm glad I checked this. These bearings are super tight. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, there's no play. These need to be backed off. Let's see if this rim is any good. Oh yeah, we got a good rim there. Yeah, Fred hooked me up. Thank you, Fred. I know, Fred, you're going to be like, that was 5 years ago, dude. That's been sitting in your basement for 5 years. Hey, I got ticked off. It was like a bunk front end, I should have left your fork that was on there. Okay, let's see. I think I'll leave the spindle in for now. And we will undo I think we're going to undo. I think you can undo this spring. It's a big honking bolt on that spring too. What is that? Oh, look at that. A wrench from a lathe will work. It's the equivalent of, it's probably a 17 millimeter because that's just how things from overseas are. I could get a 17 millimeter ratchet, but this is coming out pretty easy, especially without these connected to anything. You know, they're just dangling right now. Yeah, this might have been a Paperboy bike. You can see the rash really hard here. I think I changed the, I'm pretty sure I changed that emblem. 120 day of, maybe that's the right emblem. 120th day of 73, 1203. Huh. This might be the right emblem. That would make sense. March, January, February, March. That would be 90 days. Huh. By the time they built it and made it. I'll have to look at that a little more closely. Okay, let's get a little box for this reproduction junk. Fine quality stuff. All right, so we got that off. The action feels really good. I know I used a lot of grease in here. I can see it all leaking out. Yeah. This action is good. I don't think that has anything to do with the weirdness I was feeling on the road. Okay, let's get the 13 millimeter and take these off. Because it's metric, because it's reproduction. Don't over tighten these carriage bolts. They have a tendency to break. And if you can, change these out. If you can find some of these that are nylock, change them out. These reproduction ones, they don't really have a lock. They don't have a lock washer. There's no room for the lock washer. And that little serrated part's supposed to do it all. If you can get there, it's a metric thread. If you can find them with nylocks, or even get longer carriage bolts with the nylock, you should change it out. If you're serious about running a reproduction spring or front end. Okay. We know that this is the top, it's shorter, and this is the bottom. Big deal. Okay. Okay, and we will measure each of those side stays to make sure they are correct. It wasn't a side to side issue. It was a straight on rideability issue. So I don't think it's because some parts were uneven. I think it was because they weren't bent right. It's not the right throw. It's not the right arc. That's the word. Yeah, if you can find a carriage bolt that's a little bigger, longer, and then you get one of these that's a nylock, I do recommend that. Or at least if you can find a carriage bolt that's longer and use a snap washer, just try to get some lock action on these. These are not, it's not Schwinn quality, folks. Sorry. Let's measure these just to make sure we know that, you know, center to center, that these are the same. I'm pretty sure they will be. And that is 21 and 7/16. Makes sense. That's how we measured from there to there earlier. 21 and 7/16. And center to center on this one is 21 and 3/8. Pretty close to 7/16. Okay, there's no real There's no real big giant difference, maybe a couple thousands. And these seem to be pretty true. That one's pretty straight. That one's pretty straight. Okay, I think the culprit is this not being the right bend, these two pieces. And I'm really tempted just to throw this to the side and put the correct fork back in at a later date. Or we can try to bend these, but I don't have time tonight to test it. So we're going to just take it apart, push it to the side, and then we're going to do some paint removing on the fleet fender. You're getting a triple whammy tonight, folks. Okay, let's take this apart. All right, is it 15? What is it? It's 14? Okay, it's 14 millimeter. And this giant one here. Oh, okay. And this bolt also, if you can get a nylock, but then you lose the acorn. I think they do give you a snap washer on this one. Let's see if they do. It looks like they do give you a snap washer on this one. No, they don't. They don't give you a snap washer. It's just a flat washer with an acorn. So you might want to use some Loctite on that. If you're into these repro front ends, you probably already know that the fasteners that come with them are complete junk. Yeah, somebody greased this really good. Me. Yeah, I did put grease in here. Yeah, I kicked this off in the basement pile for almost 5 years. I was so disgusted after the first ride. It just wasn't doing it for me, you know. You want to do some jumps on a Springer, you know, you want to go off stuff and you know, you want to smash through stuff. And if you can't steer straight, you know, that's a problem. Look at that, already galled. It already galled the bolt. Look at that. That was just one ride. That was one ride. These are not hardened like Schwinn bolts. Not even close. Yeah, if you're into these, get some hardened bolts, some grade 8s, you know, and go through it. Get the better carriage bolts. Get some grade 8. Get a grade 8 5/16 or 3/8 or whatever this is by. Well, I'll tell you exactly what you get. Yeah, get a 3/8 by 4.5 grade 8 bolt, and use a lock washer and plenty of grease. And there's no way to avoid that. Look at that. It's just not a hardened bolt. It's just the cheapest bolt they could even think of to use. You'd think on a Springer front end, they would use something that's hard, that's hardened, that's graded. There's no grade on this. There is no grade. There's no mark for a grade. It's not graded. That's the problem. I'm trying to find a graded bolt to show you guys. Here we go. Now, obviously, this is the wrong bolt. You know, there's 6 on there. Add 2. This is a grade 8 bolt. That's good. If this was the right bolt, I'd use it in there, but it's a different bolt. And when you see like letters on it, I believe if you just see some letters on it, like a letter or two, pretty sure if you just see a letter or two, it's grade 3. So If you see 3 dots, 3 lines, that's grade 5, and you can use that in a pinch on some automotive applications like to hold brackets and stuff on, but you should really have grade 8. And grade 8 has 6 lines, you add 2. Grade 5 has 3 lines, and you add 2. When you just see a number or a letter, like this one says KT, probably the manufacturer, that's probably grade 3. But when you see 6 of them, oh yeah, baby, that's grade 8. That's good. Anyway, so what did we learn about that other bolt? It's garbage. All right. I have a really good feeling that this I'm putting a different. I think this whole reproduction Schwinn Springer thing is probably going to go in the parts bin, and I'm going to put the fork back in. If I had time to run down and find it tonight, I would, but I don't. But let's take this out. It's kind of bugging me. I know it's crap. All right, let's put something in this hole and take this out. Great. Now that I took everything off, and it's going to be really hard to untighten. Man, we got this bolt. Maybe I can hold it, push it. Maybe I can. Maybe I can get this off. Yeah. Well, that was a bonehead move to take everything apart. Okay, I got an idea. We can get through this. Work with me. We can get through this. We just need to hold this with something, and what better way than an actual Schwinn stem that fits, which probably was on this bike when I got it. Okay, now we can hold it instead of struggling with that little puny bolt. Now we've got leverage. We can really put the oomph on it. This bolt wasn't cutting it. It's not cutting it for anything, actually. Still gotta be tighter. Wow, that's in there. Somebody was really doing stuff that day. Somebody was really making sure that thing was tight, huh? Okay. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Exciting and new. Exciting and from 1972. Wow, it still didn't do it. Oh, that is on there. I don't know what's going on. Wow. Let's get the other wrench. Somebody put this Schwinn Springer in front of them. It's reproduction. They were really making sure, right? Okay. Come on now. Not doing it. Wow. Can't believe that. Am I going to have to put the front wheel back on? That would be really embarrassing. I'm going to have to get some heat. What is going on here? Man, I know how to put a reproduction springer front end on, that's for sure. That baby was tight. Okay, before we get too carried away, let's get this out. Yeah, everything's loose now. Whew. Holy moly. Just about snapped this bolt. Okay, well, that was unpredictable. Okay, so now we're going to take this. This was just so I could get that bolt out. That was crazy. All right, let's go get our bronze hammer and get that a little what for. What for? There we go. All right, these go back in the parts bin. These are good bars, actually, and good, really good stem. It might even go back on this bike, I'm not sure. There we go. It's fighting the whole way. There we go. Wow. Okay. Back in the bin. All right. That goes with that. That's just a big random washer I put on there. Huh. Well, that was definitely tight. And this is a Schwinn part. This top race, this top adjuster is stamped Schwinn. Sometimes you buy these front ends and the Schwinn stuff doesn't even thread on them. So be careful. All right. We'll just save this as a unit. I probably will use these bearings if I'm tempted to go find that fork, but it's way down in the basement. I wouldn't do that to you. What I did notice was I probably had this in the lathe and trimmed it down. Let's take a look at that. That's another problem. You buy the Schwinn front end. You buy the reproduction Schwinn front end, and you go to put they don't give you a race with it usually, and you go to put this Schwinn piece on here. And I'm pretty sure I had to turn this in the lathe, or I had to turn this, one or the other. I remember these never really fit right. And you have to have the front end that either comes with one of these, or you have to modify your Schwinn lower race. And don't just try to pound it on, you'll crack it. It looks like I turned this one, the ID. I'm pretty sure I turned it. But that has nothing to do with the way it was feeling on the road. Feelings. Okay. Yeah, that is a Schwinn part. Yeah, the chrome's all gone. Anyway, I don't think this is the culprit. Look at these holes right here. What's going on with that? Huh. You're not getting a break on this, by the way. And then why are these holes drilled there? Yeah, that's a really cheap weld, too. This is the kind of stuff. Look at that weld there. Look at the big bubble in it right here. And over on this side, too, right here. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I guess it's definitely a reproduction Schwinn Springer. I don't think I'm going to run this. I am tempted to try to fix it, though, since I have the test bike here. You know what I mean? I am tempted to tomorrow or the next day put those in the 20-ton press and just give them a little and measure it and make it like, instead of 21 and 7/16, make it 21, and then put it back together and see if more of an arc would help, or maybe it's less. I don't know. I think what I'll do is I have another bike down there that's an actual Schwinn Springer, and you know what I'll do? I'll measure that one, or I'll measure another Springer that does work on another bike, a reproduction, and I'll get that measurement and then I'll mimic that. That's what I'll do. But I'm torn between just getting the fork and making it right away or messing with it. And this does appear to be the correct badge because it is dated. No, it's not. It's 1209. So that's the 120th day of 69. That would actually go. I have a red racer down in the basement. I don't think this was on it, but I think this tag would be better off on that one because this is 1209. Yeah. Or is it 60? I think it's 1209, which would be 69. Did they do the date codes in 69? When did they start the date codes? Okay, come on, guys. Chop, chop. When did they start the date codes on the emblem? Come on now. I need to know, like right away. Okay. Let's see. What are we going to do now? We got that as far as we can go, and we can't really take it off the stand. Let's put this traveler back. Oh, what we're going to do is we're going to put a second coat on this seat. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to put a second coat on this seat out here. Let me get some of this grease off my hands. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to eat a brownie. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get a second coat on this. You know, we deliver here at Faulkner Fixes All. Working on 3 Schwinns at once. Wow, that's well, we haven't done any work on the fleet yet. I'm a little hesitant to do the work on the fleet on the live feed because there's a lot of tedious chemicals and scraping, and you know, I'm a little hesitant. But let's go paint the second coat on this seat out here. And then once that dries, we'll take the masking off. It'll be better than Schwinn. You guys are going to love it. Oh, it's fairly dry. Okay. Whew. Wrong kind of mask. You're supposed to have a charcoal respirator, but we're outside. We're okay. There is a small spot on that where a rat or a mouse chewed, and I was trying to get it in that spot, but I think I'm going to have to let it go. If I keep spraying it, it's going to run. Yeah. Okay. So let's see since we're using a bunch of chemicals tonight, let's start on this rear fender. We'll close the door on this stinky seat project. Yes, you can repaint a Schwinn S seat and it'll look okay. Anyway, let's see what we can do on this rear fender. I'll get you as close as I can without the live feed kicking out. And it's pretty good because I worked all day on the lighting here. It's probably about as close as I can get you. Yeah, we worked all day on making the lighting right, so there's no more lighting problems. It's lit up in here. I'm not, but the shop is. Okay. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to have a brownie break. After all this toxins and stuff going in the air, I think we're going to have a brownie. Last time everybody's like, I didn't tune in to see you eat jelly beans. That's for the mice. Okay, Christopher Stapleton. Date code on head tube badge started, it says in mid 70s. I must be reading it wrong. Maybe it's 60. 1209. Yeah, there's no way that's it's I'm reading it up. Let me look at another badge. Here's another badge. Maybe I can make heads or tails which way it's stamped. Oh, yeah, it does go down. This one's, oh no, it goes from the bottom up, yeah. This one's 2648. So that would be the 264 day of 78. Yeah, that's a 79 badge then. 2648. Okay, so this is the 264 day of, it's not 68, it's got to be 78. It's not 88 because Schwinn went to Japan by then, or pretty close. There's another one. Oh, 1-3. Some are stamped a little deeper than others. 1382. Okay. Well, look at that. There's a 72 badge. I could put this on there. It'd be closer than that thing. I don't know about the light orange with red, though. Yeah, it'd look kind of odd. Yeah, that's a 78 badge. A 79 badge. It's got to be. 1209. There's no way that's 69. They didn't start doing that to the 70s. I kind of knew that. Steve Malone. Did Mrs. Faulkner make these brownies for you? Yes, she did. And she said she only used a third of the sugar. She doesn't want me all hopped out up here. But they're really good, even though they're less sugar. Yeah. That's for the mice. Yeah, she did, and they're good. And they're better than those jelly beans I ate that time. Okay, so I'm going to load up on sugar, and then we're going to jump over to this fender. And we're going to put some of this orange crap on. And then when we ruin this fender, then we'll go out there and get that seat that's almost dry, and we'll peel the stencil off, and you guys can see what a genius I am ruining Schwinn parts. You know, the channel's really been cruising along lately. And something about the algorithms and smaller channels or something. I don't know. Like I did this wood turning thing the other day. I made this. On the metal lathe. You can see that video as well. And I checked the algorithm and they were like, people are really riveted to see if it was going to be safe or not. Like it was safe. There was 8 big screws holding this thing on. It wasn't going anywhere. But the algorithm, the analytics were like, people were watching longer and were interested in your safety protocols. Okay. Okay. I'm hydrated. I have sugar. Let's do this. Oh, let's put these away before we spill some stripper on my prized possessions here. Let's do this. Let's get a brush or something. Yeah, here's a crappy used brush. Good thing about foam brushes is when they're really dry and crappy, you can just kind of reform them. You will do what I say. There, it's kind of okay now. All right, so I got you guys pretty close. This is about as close as I can get you without the live feed freaking out. If it starts to get choppy, I'll move you back. Let's see how you guys do. All right, let's get some stripper on this. Yeah, stripper from a jug, not from like where you go out. Okay. It's not that kind of a show. Man, those brownies are good. All right, let's pour that into something. I'll pour that in this old dog dish. Not much, but okay, let's read the instructions. Never use with the doors closed. Yeah, okay, we're good. Protect hands. Yeah. Shake well. After 30 minutes, scrape a small. Oh, 30 minutes, huh? Yeah, we better open the back door too. Let's shake this up. 30 minutes. Wow, I should have done this when I painted the seat or something. Yeah, it's pretty weak stuff. Should be fine. Ooh, wow, that's way too much. Oh dear. Okay, let's see how the old citrus strip works. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? An artist and a chef. She sounds like a keeper. Actually, she taught me how to do woodworking, and I taught her how to weld. And then we both kind of went into our own worlds of how to make money as artists. So for a while there, I was doing woodworking and she was welding, and vice versa. And she can use the welder. She can use a grinder. She can weld. But her forte is 2D work, and that's where she really excels, and she knows it. And my forte is, well, I con people into giving me money on the internet through my channel. Okay. All right, here we go. This is the stuff. Looks pretty yummy. You're supposed to wear gloves. You're supposed to have your back door open. Let's open this door. Actually, this stuff is pretty inert. It's not like, this is not Jasco. It's if you get it on your hand, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's pretty easy on you. Don't mess with the lights. The algorithm doesn't like that. Okay, here we go. Now this part, this part I don't want to really mess with. Not yet. Let's put some protection on here. Yeah, let's put a little piece of paper or something. I just don't want it to drip on the I don't want it to drip on these white pinstripes, what's left of them. All right, so 30 minutes, huh? We don't have 30 minutes. No one's got time for all that. Yeah, there was a time a few years ago I couldn't even get near the welder. She was making these giant crow sculptures and kinetic spinning crows, and man, I was just like, can I use the welder, please? Yeah, I'm applying it ever so carefully. This brush has a lot to be desired, if you could even call it a brush. Yeah, see, there's this part here where the white pinstripe was underneath the frame. And we want to try to, I know this is goofy, but I want to try to save the pinstripe area as much as possible. On the front fender, I'll show you what I did. I kind of rubbed through a little bit, but if you can save what's left of the pinstriping, you really get that OG paint look, without paying a pinstriper to pinstripe a fender that's a complete piece of junk. I'll show you guys what I did and how I kind of burned through a little bit, but I tried to save the pinstriping area as much as possible. And I think we're good here for a second. Yeah, I can see it kind of, it's doing something. Let's show you the front fender. Now this fender was just as bad as that one, if not worse. There is a video on this as well. And I don't think I used the citrus stripper. I think I used something else. Can't remember what I did. But we got a lot of this off, and I had to be very careful because, I wanted to save some of that, which was really hard to save that. And I didn't manage to save much of it here, but here I did. And then I started to burn through the original paint. You can see where I burned through it there. I think I was using rubbing compound, actually. And, with a little more work, at least it's not as painted over. And once, like I said earlier, once you get it on the bike and you can put some bolts here, you can really start working on these small details because it'll be on the frame, and you can use the bungee cord to bungee the wheel off. And see, right now this is screwed down to the wood, but you could do that to this too. But that's what I'm dealing with, just tons of red paint. And I think this, even though it's a little scratched up and you can see, I might be able to polish some of that too. It is scratched there from me using the compound, but that's better than what was going on over there. Okay. Has it been 30 minutes yet? It's bubbling. I can see it bubbling. Has it been 30 minutes yet? Oh, wow. It's coming off. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I better have that water. I have some water over there. We'll have to neutralize this pretty soon. Yeah, 30 minutes is like if you want all the paint to come off, but we don't want all the paint to come off. Yeah, we got to actually start working on this right now. Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's put this to the side. And man, I wish I could get you closer. Oh, yeah. There's some stuff coming off. I'm just hoping it's the spray paint and not everything. Yeah, we might have to neutralize this pretty quickly. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like, we don't want to make it go all the way. Yeah, we better wipe this off and put some water on it real quick. I'm a little worried. Oh yeah, it's coming through there. Oh yeah, we gotta get some water on this real quick. Oh yeah, it's starting to come through there. Yeah. Yeah, you see the white line here. I'm glad we got to neutralize this. We got to put some water on this real quick. It's a very patient kind of thing. You know, I mean, you want to use the stripper, you want to use chemicals, but if you go too far, like right now, I can see the red paint coming through. It's good. We got water on it. I'll try to get you closer here in a second. Yeah, here, I'll get you a little closer. Let me see if I can blow up the world here. See right here. You can get some of this off with your thumbnail now. So we've softened it up. So we want to keep going, but you don't want to leave this stuff on too long because you want to try to save this pinstripe and you want to try to not burn through that, you know, with the chemicals. Like right now, this is soft now. So what I think I'm going to do is put another coat on, wait about 5 minutes, and then neutralize it again. Yeah. But in the meantime, let's go get this seat and let's unmask this seat because, you know, I'm an artist, right? Let's go get it. Oh, yeah. It's fairly dry. I might hit it with the heat gun too. Yeah, it's yeah, I think we're gonna get the heat gun and hit it with the heat gun. Let me put this back for a second. I don't want to use the heat gun and do the stripping, so we're gonna heat gun it real quick. And then we'll use the heat gun on here too. Yeah, it's a patience thing. Yeah, it's coming. Let's heat up this seat and give it a good cook. And then we'll take the masking tape off and we'll see what we got. I can hear our dogs going off. I don't know why. Probably a stupid squirrel or something out there. I'm sure that's how they did it at the Schwinn factory. All right, let's start taking this off. Anticipation. It's making me wait. Trying to be careful. Now, I didn't mask off this little S on here. And I might do that later. I might just let it be. It's probably going to look goofy because that's not going to be white and crisp like the rest of the seat. Well, like we're trying our best here is what I'm saying. And I didn't do that. I didn't do that part. That would have required. I would have probably had to have my wife cut that piece. Okay, it's still pretty stinky. There is 2 coats of Fusion vinyl spray paint that goes on any surface. Well, it's looking pretty good so far. Try not to blow it here. It's a little fudgy. We're getting it. Just give me a second here, folks. Give me a second here. We're getting it. Now, it's a little overspray. I'll have to get that off. Oh, man, it's not bad, actually. Not terrible. Yeah, it's a little overspray right there that got underneath the tape. Well, here's the big moment. This is the big moment. You guys watching? This is how you ruin a Schwinn seat. Definitely going to have to touch up that S part, I think. It needs some cleanup. It needs some cleaning. It's not bad. I'm glad you guys can't really see that. Yeah, I gotta take some. I gotta get in there with something. And I got to fix that little divot. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Great time to put it on the bike to let it dry. So we're going to undo this. And we're going to go put it on the bike so it can dry. Just remind me not to try to sit on it. Yeah, once it's dry, we'll get in there and we'll fix that little part. There's a little smudgy. I think we can fix that part too. Let's go put it on the bike. We did follow through. Well, you can tell someone repainted it, but you have to get up pretty close. Should I have left it alone? No, I'm glad I did it. It's not bad. I'm kind of glad I did it. This is not too bad. Got this little overspray here. Maybe I'll take a little paper towel and some WD and see if I can deal with that right now. Some goo off or something. Oh yeah, we got it off of there. It's not terrible. Like I said, I've done this a few times. Well, one other time, and it turned out fair. Actually, this time turned out better than the first time I did it. So we're okay. I think I'm going to live with that. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's not terrible. I'll live with it. Until I find a better seat, maybe. I think I'm okay with it. What's your guys' thought? Should I have left it alone? Of course. Okay. Back to this fender. How soft is soft? It got pretty soft. I'm supposed to leave that stuff on for 30 minutes, but we're not trying to strip it down to bare metal. That's the thing. Hunter Ford. Hey, Faulkner. Been enjoying your channel for a while. First time tuning into your live feed. My son and I ride and work on a lot of old 60s, 70s Schwinn's. Thanks. Hey, cool. Oh, there's John Elliott. Hey, you got through, John. You know, when my daughters rode bikes, they're all grown now and they don't care, but they rode. I used to hook them up on girls' stingrays when they were little girls, and they just loved it. We used to bomb around the neighborhood and terrorize people. In fact, when new neighbors would come in, this is my first wife, but when new neighbors would move in, we would instantly get on our stingrays and go bomb around and jump off their driveway and zip around on the sidewalk and, and see if they had kids. And we would instantly terrorize the neighborhood on our stingrays. So it's like, welcome to the neighborhood. Hey, John, how's it going, man? I made it. Yeah, your son was that your son giving you your props? Yeah, he came through. Yeah, I'm here, man. Look back in the feed. We're spraying seats and changing inner tubes, and now we're taking some of this terrible red paint off of here. I think I'm going to use another coating of this citrus strip. It's pretty soft, though. I can see it's starting to come off, but I want to be very careful. It's rabbit season. Anyway, we're going to put some more citrus strip on here. I wish I had a better brush, though. Oh, I do have a better brush, kind of. Yeah, this brush is terrible. Okay, we're going to put some more of this citrus strip on here. It's kind of pinkish orange, and it sucks. And this table is rocking. That's okay, though. We like to rock out. We'll fix it. I got to shove a piece of cardboard under here. There we go. All right, so we're trying to avoid ruining this pinstripe. You can barely see it here. I'll show you on the other fender. Although we are going to ruin it. It's just the way it goes. Like I stripped this other front one the other day, and I got some of the pinstripe to stay, but this whole area underneath where the fork, where it's bolted to, was just covered in red spray paint. And I got it down to OG, but just, there's a few burn marks. We're trying to keep some of that on there. So we're trying to be nice. And I'm going to put another coating on here. Now it says 30 minutes, but that's you trying to get it down to bare metal. We're trying to do something a little bit different. We're going to give it like 5 minutes. And we're going to talk and jabberjaw a little bit, and then we'll get back to scraping this off. Now I'm trying to avoid the spots that are already down to the OG color, which is, I can see a little bit of it popping out. I'm going to try to avoid that spot. But it's really thick along here. I can see that. This stuff's pretty inert. It's not like Jasco. It's kind of weak, which is what we want. We don't want Jasco. Jasco would take this all off in seconds, and we'd be left with bare metal or primer. We don't want that. We want something in between, and that's kind of the skinny. That's why messing around with stuff that's been painted over is so hard. Like, you do start to get it off with buffing, and then you go through, like those spots I showed you on the front fender, then you went through, like, oh man, I went through, oh, how am I ever going to get that paint back? You're never going to get that paint back, even if you bring it to a body shop. I hate to tell you, but if we brought these fenders to a body shop and they bee blasted them, and somebody professionally painted it and professionally pinstriped it, guess what? You could hold it up to an OG fender and you would see the difference. Nothing beats the paint they had in the 60s. There was lead in it. There was lead in the paint. It laid down smooth. you know. So like Henry Ford with those black Model Ts. Those were hand painted. And there was so much lead in that paint. It was just laying it down flat. Man, he used to say one of his favorite things to say was, I'll paint any car any color as long as it's black. Okay. I think we're golden here. Yeah, I can kind of smell it working a little bit. We'll put a little bit right here too. There's a little bit. The original paint, you can kind of see it starting here. So I don't want to mess with that area first. Just messing with this. This is the area whoever did this, they sprayed the whole bike and fenders on the bike. And you can tell on the back one, especially where that other big blue tape is, you can see where it was, the fender stay was there and they just sprayed around it. And you can see that's how they did it. John Elliott, I never had a Schwinn till I was 56. Oh man, you didn't get your Schwinn Stingray stolen when you were 12 and 14 and 15? You missed out. I mean, some people get into this late, and it does kind of keep you out of trouble. There'd be a lot of other things I could collect that I'd be very poor, like if you collect Corvettes or muscle cars or, not putting anybody down like that. It's just, you need a lot of space for that. And car collecting is, well, what if I collected Cessna airplanes? I mean, you'd be broke pretty quickly. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes. Let's just give it a soft test. Let's wait a few more minutes. Not quite soft. So it's coming off though. Yeah, I wish I could get you a little closer. I don't think I can. I've seen that paint job before. Yeah. Yeah, this is rough. Did you watch the first one when I was messing with the front fender? Yeah, it's coming. I don't think we're going to neutralize it as quick this time. It's coming off though. Oh yeah. Very tedious. Oh yeah, it's coming. Oh yeah. I got a big chunk of it off. Don't want to scratch it too much though. Yeah, maybe with some compound and some kind of buffing thing in a minute. We'll see what we can do. I got to neutralize this in a minute though. I'm going to let it sit on a little longer than I did before I put the water on it. Yeah. Okay. So the vote is next Saturday. I think I'll let you guys vote. Is it more paint stripping on the Fleet? Because that wasn't really supposed to be on tonight. That was just kind of filler because the Traveler didn't really take that long with the tube and the whole let's ruin a Schwinn seat thing. Should we put the fork back on this Typhoon? Because I don't think I'm going to run this Springer. We could make this Typhoon a runner next Saturday. Excuse me. Or we could keep going on this red painted over gem. I do have a complete 1962 Schwinn Fleet. Thank you, Fred. We're working on 2 of Fred's bikes that I bought. That's funny. Maybe Fred's the one making all the money. Okay. All right, so this is nice and soft now. Oh yeah, Oh man, we better neutralize this quick. I can see some of the pinstripe coming out now. Yeah, we better get this off here pretty quick. Oh yeah, there's the pinstripe right there. Okay, we better get some water on this pretty quick. Yeah, it's starting to bubble. Mm. Yeah, we better neutralize this. We got to get some water real quick. Oh man, it's coming around. Yeah, we could almost get the buffer out almost. Oh, there's a big run there though of the spray paint, I can tell. Yeah, it's coming around. Yeah. You guys can see that white on there. Yeah, there's the original paint there. There's the original white pinstripe. And this is all this sprayed on crud. The original paint's starting to poke through. So now I have to be very careful about where I put that stripper. You know, I don't want to put it on the OG paint. Or we can start buffing and lightly sanding, and then you're kind of running into the OG paint. It's a very fine patience kind of thing. I think right now we're going to take a little bit of steel wool and gently scrub on the red paint, not the OG paint, not the original stuff. We're just going to take some water and start scrubbing a little bit. Kind of like a wet sand, but with steel wool. A little more forgiving than sandpaper. Yeah, it's taking red paint off. That's good. It's taking a lot off. Wow, that's really working good. Maybe some WD on there to kind of break it up a little. Hey, I'll try anything. You know, I'll try anything once. Oh man, it did really good up in here. Yeah, it's really taking it off. I got to be careful. Okay, let's get you over here. You can see what's happening. It's really working good now. I mean, I'm covered in red paint, but that's the original paint underneath there. And this is kind of soft now. So if I did put any remover on it, I'd have to be very careful not to put it on this white part and just concentrate on some of this over here. It's coming off. And the stuff that's on there is kind of soft now. I want to grab some 600 grit, but I know better. It just needs a little more chemicals. This citrus stuff is pretty inert, you know. I have it on my hands right now, and it's not recommended, but it's not killing me. Let's see. Christopher Stapleton, a little of both for next week. Well, it's probably what's going to happen unless a whole bunch of people vote. Like, no, make the Typhoon a runner, which is all I got to do is put the other fork back on it. Or no, keep on keep working on the fleet. It's good for you. Try using some rubber gloves. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Stuff was flying off of there. Hard to believe you got quiet on us. Yeah, well, I trying to get this done over here. Look at how much old red paint came off though. We can see the pinstripes. Hey, that's not bad. If you saw that earlier, it was all caked. None of this was visible. This is all original paint underneath here. And you can see all that heat gun. After we softened it twice with the citrus strip, then we heat gunned it. We don't want to go too far now. That's just straight paint loss there, actually. But here, I'll undo this little thing for you here, and you can see where they sprayed it right on the frame. You can see the fender was on the frame right there. You can see it was tucked under where it bolts to the frame. So whoever did that just straight sprayed it on the frame. It was on the bike, you know. And this is going to be a little more dicier because there's a lot of original paint here mixed in. That should come right off. Look, that's oh, that's because I put that stripper on earlier right there as a test spot. Yeah. It's kind of hard holding the computer and doing this, by the way. That's why I was being quiet, John. Yeah, so this part was bolted to the bike. You can tell right there. And I think it's almost time for some compound. I don't think I'm going to do any more heat gunning, maybe a little bit. It's almost time for the actual compound. And on that, well, actually, I got a heat gun over here a little. I don't think I have any compound. Let's see what I got here. Oh yeah, there's a little in this. You can. There's a little bit left here. All right, we'll just do one little area. We'll concentrate right here. We'll just kind of compound this up. Yeah, we'll do the whole thing. Okay. Woo. Wow. It's coming along. I'd say another 10 hours. Well, from where we started to now, I think we did pretty good. I'll have to look back in the video, but yeah, from now to where we started, that was caked. That was all caked red paint. And that's not bad. With some more buffing, more compounding, some polishing. And we did really good to save this pinstripe too. I think we'll be able to save this most of the way. And so I had this cover here because this was already kind of stripped. Anyway, we'll take that off and we'll keep going here. The heat gun, after you use the weak stripper and then the heat gun, that seemed to work pretty good. You could see that stuff just peeling off. I think we're doing better than the front one. The front one I burned through. This one I haven't really burned through yet. I think we're doing pretty good on this one. Okay, another 9 or 10 hours to go, and we'll have it. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it. Let's see. Vote on the next feed. The next live feed, 6:30 Eastern, next Saturday. Do you want me to work on this 72 Typhoon? Put the fork back on it. I don't think I'm even going to deal with that Springer. I don't know. We might. Is it 72 Typhoon time, or is it more of this? I mean, whatever you guys want. But you know I'm going to be working on this in the back burner. You know, I wish I had used the stripper on this without burning through, because this would have turned out a lot better with the patience I did on that one. You know, this one did burn through a little bit. I think there's many hours to go. Okay, so vote. That's your job. The channel's doing well. There's a lot of subscribers, a lot of people doing stuff, asking me questions. That's good. And you know what? I ask questions too, like the date codes and the Schwinn wheel locks. You know, I don't know everything, and it's good to ask people that know, especially Stingray people, really know about that kind of stuff. Vote 72 Typhoon or 62 Fleet. So I'll do a little work on both during the week. I have actual work to do, so real stuff to do. So give me a vote. I'll tally it up. I'll put it on the community thing, and I'll be out here next Saturday, and yeah, vote for the Typhoon. Yeah, that's the one to vote for. All right, peace out. Hey, thanks for coming by. We had a lot of fun. A lot of folks came through. All right, keep on biking, keeps you healthy. Get out there and do some biking. If I take a bike ride tomorrow, I'll drop a little video. It's obviously not going to be that Typhoon. It'll probably be something that actually runs. Okay, peace out, guys and girls. Okay, see you later.